A Christmas Story 2. I'm reviewing this movie because on HBO Max we are getting the actual sequel to A Christmas Story, so we can just throw this shit out. Oh shit, did I just break the case? No, it's okay. If you can't tell, I didn't like this movie. And so some of you might be thinking, what the shit is this movie? Because you probably don't know that there's a sequel to A Christmas Story if you're a sane person. Well, Warner Brothers has a label called Warner Premiere where they make direct-to-video sequels to their top-selling titles. And A Christmas Story just happens to be one of them that they did this with. These are direct-to-video sequels. They're not theatrical releases. They don't really have any business or right to exist. They're just cash grabs. And this one is one of the worst that they've ever made. And the reason why is this movie is not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but there are some really freaking terrible parts in this movie. For the most part, this movie tries to recreate A Christmas Story and just fails. It has an older Ralphie as a teenager and stuff. And it's not a bad route to go for a sequel where he's like a teenager and wants a car for Christmas. I think where it fails is when it's just shamelessly trying to rip off the scenes or remind you of scenes from A Christmas Story. Just less good. That's a big problem with this. And the main reason it fails is this girl right here. So in this movie, Ralphie's really into this girl named Priscilla, and first of all, this is one of the worst female characters I've ever seen in a movie. Um, she has zero lines until like the very end of the movie. She doesn't do anything throughout most of the movie. She's just a very attractive female presence that our main character is into. And it's just disgusting because at several points Ralphie fantasizes about sniffing her hair because she uses lavender shampoo. And like this is not portrayed as gross or creepy or weird. It's portrayed as, you know, a likable trait of our main character being into this girl, and it's just creepy and just gross. And all the fantasies he has about her. See, it's funny because they like try to recreate how like Ralphie in the original would have these fantasy daydreams or whatever. But the thing is, in the original, he's a little kid. Like that makes sense. Little kids do that kind of crap. He's a teenager in this movie, and he's fantasizing about a person, like a girl, and these really creepy like daydreams. It's just a very creepy thing about this movie. Everyone tries in this movie. I don't think the guy they got for the old man was very good. First of all, I don't want to be mean the actor, but he's a heavier looking man. He doesn't feel like the right shape and for the part. And just this movie just isn't as fun. It doesn't capture that kind of Christmas that A Christmas Story is. There's never going to be that. I don't really have faith in A Christmas Story. Uh, Christmas A Christmas Story, that whatever the shit that new one's called. But yeah, this is a terrible movie. Nobody should watch this movie. It is awful. If you've never seen this movie, you're welcome. You should never watch this movie. It is 100% a waste of your time, and that's going right in the shitter.